Florida looks like paradise to millions of people, but what if the fastest growth in the state is actually pushing some cities towards serious trouble? Behind the sunshine, booming real estate, and record-breaking population growth, warning signs are quietly building. By 2026, several Florida cities could face major economic, housing, and infrastructure challenges that most people never see coming. Florida has been one of the fastest-growing states in America for years. Millions have moved here chasing sunshine, job opportunities, tax benefits, and what many believe is the perfect lifestyle. Cities expanded rapidly, real estate prices exploded, and Florida became a symbol of success and opportunity. But behind the glossy postcards, beach views, and impressive growth numbers, a different reality is beginning to unfold. Rapid growth always comes with consequences. When cities expand faster than infrastructure can handle, housing becomes unaffordable, wages fail to keep up with rising living costs, traffic congestion increases, and public services begin to struggle. Add soaring insurance premiums, growing climate risks, and economic uncertainty, and suddenly that Florida dream starts to crack. Florida's growth story is no exception. Let's be clear, this video is not about fear-mongering. It's about awareness. These risks don't mean total collapse overnight, but they do point to rising pressure, declining quality of life, and potential downturns that residents, investors, and travelers should be paying attention to. Today, we're uncovering the dark side of Florida's growth by focusing on 10 specific cities showing serious warning signs heading into 2026. From housing bubbles and insurance crises to overdevelopment and climate vulnerability, these issues could dramatically change life in these cities sooner than many expect. Now that you understand why this topic matters, welcome to my channel, Travel Decoded, where we break down global travel trends, migration shifts, and the real stories behind popular destinations. If you want honest insights beyond the headlines, you're in the right place. Let's dive into the cities at risk. Miami. Miami's growth has been explosive, driven by remote workers, luxury investors, and international money. But beneath the skyline, affordability is collapsing. Housing costs have skyrocketed while local wages lag far behind. Insurance premiums, especially flood insurance, are becoming unaffordable, and climate risks loom larger every year. Miami's infrastructure is under constant pressure, and many middle-class residents are being pushed out, creating instability that could worsen by 2026. Orlando. Orlando's economy is heavily dependent on tourism, making it vulnerable during economic downturns. Rising rent prices and low wages in service sector jobs are creating financial stress for residents. Rapid suburban expansion has strained roads, schools, and utilities. If tourism slows or costs continue rising, Orlando could face serious economic imbalance in the coming years. Tampa. Tampa has attracted new residents at record speed, but the city is struggling to keep up. Traffic congestion, housing shortages, and insurance costs are increasing faster than income growth. Coastal exposure also raises long-term climate concerns. What once felt like a balanced city now faces growing inequality and infrastructure stress that could intensify by 2026. Jacksonville. Jacksonville's size hides deep problems. Urban sprawl has stretched city services thin, while crime rates and aging infrastructure remain concerns. Property taxes and insurance rates are climbing, yet economic opportunities are unevenly distributed. Without significant investment and reform, Jacksonville's growth could become more of a burden than a benefit. Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale's popularity has driven up real estate prices, pushing many locals out. Flooding risks, rising insurance premiums, and overdevelopment threaten long-term sustainability. The city's charm is being tested by overcrowding and environmental stress, making its future less certain as growth continues unchecked. Cape Coral. Cape Coral grew rapidly during Florida's housing booms, but that growth left it vulnerable. The city faces high insurance costs, climate exposure, and limited economic diversity. Many residents rely on commuting or fixed incomes, which could become problematic if costs continue rising and property values fluctuate. St. Petersburg. St. Petersburg's transformation into a trendy coastal hotspot has driven housing prices far beyond what many locals can afford. Infrastructure and public services are under pressure, and flood risks are increasing. If affordability and climate issues aren't addressed, the city could struggle to maintain its quality of life. Naples. Naples appears wealthy on the surface, but its economy depends heavily on tourism and retirees. Rising living costs, insurance rates, and healthcare expenses could strain fixed-income residents. Climate risks also pose a long-term threat, making Naples more fragile than it may seem. West Palm Beach. West Palm Beach has seen intense development and population growth, but wages haven't kept pace with living costs. Traffic congestion, housing shortages, and insurance challenges are becoming daily realities. Without sustainable planning, the city's growth could turn into economic stress by 2026. Daytona Beach. Daytona Beach relies heavily on seasonal tourism, making it economically vulnerable. Infrastructure aging, rising insurance costs, and limited job diversity create instability. If tourism slows or climate events increase, Daytona Beach could face serious financial challenges in the near future. Florida's growth has brought opportunity, excitement, and global attention, but it has also exposed deep vulnerabilities. These 10 cities represent places where rapid expansion, rising costs, climate risks, and economic imbalance are colliding. None of this means Florida is doomed, but it does mean the future will reward cities that adapt, and punish those that ignore warning signs. If you're planning to move, invest, or travel, understanding these risks is more important than ever. Growth without balance always comes at a price, and Florida is now entering a critical phase where smart planning will define what survives and what struggles. If you found this breakdown helpful and eye-opening, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel Travel Decoded, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive into global travel and migration trends. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.